I'm Tara, and this is Prescription Yoga Release. So release can mean release of the breath. It can be release of stress, of emotional or mental strain or upheaval or congestion. It can also mean physical release, so releasing of physical congestion or sinus congestion or digestive congestion. So all of those types of release can magically and marvelously be impacted by connecting to the energy that flows through all of those systems. So they're all connected. And we can access this energy, so we think of this as a river of energy with some very specific points. And these acupressure points, there's a couple of different things that you can do with them. One, so we're going to start just right here with the very tip of your finger. And I'm kind of twisting a little bit from side to side. You can also kind of pinch, you can flick your finger. There's lots of movement that helps to shake up congestion of energy. So this particular point, this is about release of, it can be the release of stress. It can be, I'm looking at my list, any repeating patterns, things that trigger you. There's a lot of energy in this first finger, which is why we use it when we really need to be direct with something or someone, like you need to stop that, right? It's that finger. We don't shake our pinky finger at someone. There's a lot of direct energy here. So that means that if we're shaking or twisting or massaging the end of the finger, or really the whole finger, I'm helping to let go some of that energy. So you can also just hold the whole finger. So maybe holding the finger for just a minute. Now I have my other finger just kind of right alongside that first finger in this webbing between thumb and first finger. If you push just below the first finger knot, you're gonna kind of feel that place right there, kind of slide into a little divot there, and hold on, wrap your fingers around that first finger and take a few breaths. I'm going to breathe in and out through my mouth. Let your shoulders fall. And you take a few breaths like that. Focus on your exhale. That's the important one. Really letting your shoulders relax. And just notice kind of the tension in your shoulders. And you can do the same thing with the other finger. This meridian or river of energy flows down both of the arms. We can access it from the head right off this first finger. Now, all of our energy flows up and down. We are polarized electromagnetic beings. So this energy, this charge flows throughout the body. It flows through the large intestines and all the way down to the feet. So these are the places where I can press it, hold it, manipulate it. Again, if you're doing it on this side, press into the side with your thumb. Take a few breaths, maybe lifting your shoulders and dropping them with your exhale. It just kind of gets us out of patterns of thinking. Helps to release some of that energy. And allow a little smile to come to your face. Smiling is a wonderful way to send some releasing chemicals into your brain, those biochemicals that are all about peace and ease and balance and feeling some joy. So when we release stress, we have space to draw those happy chemicals into our brains. So imagine that inner smile flowing through your body and your head. So the next one, this is a point that we have already kind of massaged a little bit. So you can be a little bit more deliberate. You can use any of your fingers or all of your fingers to massage that point. This is called the Great Eliminator, which means that it's great for all sorts of things. Eliminating anxiety, eliminating stress, eliminating headaches or cramps or constipation, muscle twinges. Really pressing in and holding right against the bone. And you can hold this one and keep squeezing and maybe hold your breath as well. And then as you exhale, Release the pressure, and then just a little light wiggling at the surface of the skin sends an interesting message to your nervous system. Inhale, squeeze and push, and exhale. A little wiggle wiggle at the top of the skin. Again, a little smiling. Inhale and exhale, and a little wiggle. Wonderful. And then I would do that on the other hand as well. The Great Eliminator. I love all of the traditional Chinese names for these points because they're instructive. They teach us what each of these points do. So the next point that I'd like to impact is this one is if you come down that first finger and kind of come to your elbow. So because we're doing acupressure and not acupuncture, we don't have to be completely accurate about where the line of energy flows. So I'm just rubbing forward and back, and I'm just below my elbow, where my elbow connects. So this one is specific to emotional exhaustion. So you kind of think about that it's fairly close to the heart. And if we're just feeling like I'm just had it, maybe I've been crying, or I'm just tired, emotionally feeling heavy in my heart, then this is a great place to massage, because as you're moving around your arm, you're impacting all of the energies that flow through the elbow. And then you can massage right off your fingers, kind of squeezing and pulling as you go. And that is, when you think about someone being in mental and emotional anguish, they rub their hands, right? Or they rub their faces. I used to do this a lot when I was feeling really stressed. So this movement that's very purposeful and pressurized is helping your body to release emotional exhaustion or emotional overwhelm. And knowing that is important. So I'm purposeful, I'm intentional with my action. And then you just shake your arms out a little bit. So the next one, I have to check my list. This is called large intestine 14. So this muscle right here, that is kind of the rounded part of your shoulder. This is the deltoid. So if you go about a hand width below your shoulder, you'll come to where the muscle starts to get a little narrower. It's kind of a teardrop shape as it connects to the bone. Now the front part of that deltoid muscle, right at that kind of insertion point, so I'm about a hand width again from my armpit, kind of on the front of that. Think about that in line with your first finger. You might feel a little bit here. It's a pretty normal energetic spot for feeling congestion. You also have some lymphatic vessels that are in that area, so you're helping to release toxins that are being held in the body by massaging this point. You can do both arms at the same time. Ooh, I can feel it a little bit more on this side. And that's normal too. You might feel it more in one side, you might feel the same, or you might feel nothing in either one. All normal. So this point is for mental and emotional. So the closer we get to the head, the more mental release starts to be part of the story. If you slide your hands right to the back of that deltoid muscle, right on kind of even with your elbow, and massage there. And again, you can rub side to side, or you can just kind of squeeze and hold. So all of these things, it's really important not to take my word for it or really anyone else's. The important thing is to do it yourself, and then notice, like, how do I feel? Do I feel a little calmer? Can I feel a little more ease in my body? How's my brain doing? It's that open, curious and compassionate curiosity that we're seeking, because that invites change when we're moving into that imaginative possibility of energy moving and us feeling less stressed or less emotionally exhausted. Okay, so the next point, I'm going to roll my shoulders a little bit, maybe shake your hands. And this one, first I'm going to do a little tapping on my chest, because honestly, it's not just in these points, right? Stress energy exists in every cell of the body. Every single cell can come into a place of inflammation, and that just means there's too much stress happening. This is all subconscious. We're not even aware of this happening in our bodies because we have a pretty limited capacity in the brain to take in information and to process it. So the body is holding a lot of our stress and emotional baggage. It's all right here. So we're doing a great blessing to our bodies by just doing a little bit of movement, just with a kindness and compassionate curiosity about, this is interesting. And that interesting could be, I don't really like this, and that's okay too, right? Anytime we feel a little resistive to something, it could be that we've come up against a place where there's a strong pattern, and what we want to do is invite those patterns to release. So that's what all of these points are for, helping us to let go of unconscious or conscious pain, suffering, irritation, trouble. The next point is right above. So here's my collarbones that meet right here, and there's a little divot right here. Just above that, you'll feel a little dent in, right, between the muscles and the bone. So I'm going to hold this point. Inhale, turn my head away as I slowly exhale. And I'm going to kind of run my finger out a little bit towards my shoulder. I won't get very far. And then come back, do the same thing. Inhale. Turn your head away. Let's do that again. Inhale and away. Excellent. Let's do one more just for fun. Excellent. Roll your shoulders, a little bit of movement. Let's do that on the other side. So just above the collarbone, push in just a little bit, not too deeply. Exhale, push away. This is great for headaches. Inhale. For the beginning of a migraine. Inhale. Or just feeling mental stress. Come back, one more. Well, we got to do 4 on this side because we did 4 on the other. Inhale. Excellent. And kind of move your shoulders, wiggle your fingers. So that one is called support and rush out, which is interesting. So kind of push in and then support the movement outward and downward of any energy that might cause you to have a headache. So I'm going to do just a little bit of massage along the back of my neck. Again, just to kind of help with release. Hold your hands on the sides of your neck and draw some circles with your nose, just loosening things up. And now the last, so this energy flows up the face to both sides of the nose. So this one, it makes sense that this would be more about supporting congestion. So if you have sinus headaches, allergies, or you just have a cold, or you're outside and your nose starts to run, this is a magical point. You go outside and your nose starts to run and you do a little circling here. So I'm making 9 circles one way and 9 circles the other way. Your nose will stop running. It's remarkable. It works for dogs too. And cats. I don't know. I never tried it with a cat. So 9 circles one way and 9 circles the other way. 9 is a powerful number of change. Excellent. And then just kind of hold that point while you breathe in and out through your nose. So have your mouth closed. This point is called welcoming fragrance. And I'm kind of humming on my exhale. Humming is a nourishing movement, vibration to the whole spine. Helps release and balance the nervous system. And then just hold your hands at the sides of your face. And then cross your arms, give your shoulders a good squeeze. Now breathe out through your mouth. Full as exhale as you possibly can. Slowly squeeze down through those points to your elbows. And right down to that source point, the inside of your first finger. My thumb is right there at the center of my hand. Do that on the other side. Thumb in the center of your palm. Rub your hands together. And then bring your hands to the sides of your body, just resting on your thighs. Give your thighs a little massage as well. Imagining a release all the way through your body with the breath, with your digestion. Imagine energy flowing evenly and beautifully from the crown of your head all the way down to your toes, and from your toes all the way up through your fingers, right up through the crown of your head. Take a nice full inhale. Thank you so much for joining me.